Good morning. And here we are, end of week 16, start of week 17. And another not perfect week. Seems to be every week these days. Like I said, I don't think there is such a thing as a perfect week, so I'm beginning not to worry about that these days. So, there we are. Right, so where are we? What happened last week? Well, as you know from the last video, I travelled back to Abu Dhabi last week. So Monday, nothing really happened on the Monday. I didn't get a chance because I was in the air actually. Then Tuesday, I was supposed to go out and do I think it was a 10k easy run, but I was feeling a little bit under the weather. Let's just say doing 10k around the streets wouldn't have been a good plan, considering I couldn't walk too far from the bathroom. yeah, you get my drift. So I didn't actually do my 10k easy run on Tuesday. That sort of went completely pear-shaped. I wasn't feeling too bad by Wednesday. So Wednesday I did do my full core and strength training. That was a good session. Started to realise that I can increase the weights on some of the things, step ups, calf raises. I'm going to be pushing the weights up this week on that without going mad. Thursday then, I managed to get back out. It was another 10k easy run, and I got back out onto the streets. That was pretty good. Sort of 67 minutes sort of time I would expect for a nice 10k easy run. However, what I have realised is I think we're at the end of running in the evenings now because of our climate, the humidity and the temperature. It was the hardest 10k I've done, I must admit. It was absolutely brutal. So the running in the evenings is definitely over unless I'm using my treadmill next door. I am going to go back this week, coming now to utilising pre-sunrise. I did check back through my Strava and I was running into June last year, albeit a lot shorter distances, but I was running into June. So in the mornings. So we'll go back to morning running, drag my arse out of bed, and hopefully that'll keep me going until July. Friday then, rest day again, but time on feet walking. I managed to get out and do just over 6k on that one, not a problem at all. Which brought us to the Saturday long run day, and to be honest was a bit of a disaster. I went out with the intention of doing Birdcage Hill 4 times, 3 minimum. And I was just, I don't know what went wrong. I did it twice, plus a bit of a run on the flat, and all I got was 12k. I didn't get a huge amount. It was up and down in the top 4 times, and just 12k. It was absolutely disastrous run. So then Saturday afternoon, I actually came back then, and then Saturday afternoon I decided to put another 6k in on the treadmill. To make up for the deficit. Maybe I was feeling guilty, so I put another 6k in on the treadmill. So I did get 18k in total on Saturday, which I suppose is not a bad thing because it's running on fatigued legs. So, and it seemed okay. It wasn't too bad at all. Then Sunday I went back out to Albath, but with the bike though, and I put in 30k on my bike around the bike track out there. Although I intended doing it at 20 kilometers an hour, I actually pushed it up to, I think my average was about 23 kilometers an hour. So Strava come back with personal records all around the track for me, which was nice. Considering I was supposed to have done 45k, I did 30k, but at a I wouldn't say a far higher, but at a higher pace. I think the maximum speed I touched was 38 mile an hour going down one of the back streets, which was quite novel, wind in your hair, etc. So that was the week that was. That was week 16. Not a perfect week, but it improved as the week went on. I must admit, by Thursday, I was starting to get a lot of doubts, self-doubt I think it's called, about the upcoming Ultra X and whether I'm going to complete it or not. Or there was a lot of doubt creeping into my mind whether my training was right, whether trying to train at this time of year in the UAE for an event in July in the UK is wise, and whether going forward I should be looking for events in sort of end of May, June time in the UK, so I can train in the cooler months here, and then don't look for them again until sort of November time. So there was a lot of self-doubt creeping in, especially with regards to lack of hill work, lack of elevation gain during my training. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they've got rid of that self-doubt now since then. It's sort of gone away a bit. I've gone back to the original plan, sticking to the original plans rather than trying to rewrite stuff now this late in the game and just trusting in the plan will work. So anyway, what were the numbers on the doors for last week? So I managed to put in about 6.6k of walking, hour and 12 minutes sort of touch. Running, I only got 27.2k in, 3 hours 58. Most of that was out Birdcage Hill, although it was 469 meters of elevation gain, so we did get some elevation gain this week. And then we were back on the cycling again, which was just over 30k and an hour and 20 minutes. So my totals for last week were still excess of 50k, so 63.8k, 6.5 hours and 558 meters of elevation gain, which was, I think that's acceptable, to be honest, although I think it should be a little bit higher at present, especially on the running side. So my total distances now, since we started this lark, was 736.07k, 83.5 hours of training and 7,300 odd meters of elevation gain. So that's it. I think it's all still going in the right direction. I think I've just got to get rid of this self-doubt out of my head now. So moving into week 17, so I've decided now my time on feet walking to try and improve my elevation, not so much the elevation gain, but the hill walking, the hill running. My 2 time on feet walk-ins I'm going to do on the treadmill in here, because my treadmill will go to 22% incline if I wanted to. So today's 6k time on feet walking I'm going to do at 15% incline. So hopefully it'll give me some sort of hill type work, so to speak. And then tomorrow I've got 8k hill repeats. I think it's like a 1.8k warm up and cool down, and then 11 hill repeats in the middle. So again, we're going to do that on the treadmill, just to guarantee that I am doing hill repeats, rather than saying, sod it, I'll go out and run around the streets, which then turns into an easy run. I need to be putting in these hill repeats now for the remainder of this training. So I will be doing that on the treadmill. Wednesday then, full body and core strength training again, so that's not a problem. I'm going to increase the weights, like I said, on a few bits and pieces. I can't increase them past what I'm going to do today because I don't have any more kettlebells. I'm still waiting for them to come into stock, so as soon as they do I can increase. I could do an increase in a farmer's carry weight, but I don't have the kettlebells for it. Thursday then, I've got 9k written in here, but I think it's 11k written in my plan, easy run. I think I'll probably get out on the street again, because I won't have got out on the street by then this week. So I'll get out early morning, pre-sunrise, do 11k, nice easy run. Friday then, again, it's back to the treadmill, only this time 10% incline and 7 or 8k. So I don't want to do too much with Saturday being my long run day, so I might even just keep it to the 6k and 10% incline. So there we go. Saturday then, now my plan has a 34k run in it for Saturday. However, we know that's not going to happen in this climate at present. It doesn't say anything about a hilly run this week. So I might push around the streets of Khalifa City, and I might just see how much I can do as close to 20k as possible. It still means a really early start, even though it's only around the streets. But it is what it is. So I will look to do at least 20k on the Saturday morning, and then I'll get on the treadmill Saturday afternoon and make up any deficit. If I don't make the full deficit up, I will then try and utilize Sunday to go out and do a short, easy run. The only trouble is on Sunday I'm actually traveling again. I'm off to Greece this week, at the end of this week. So I'll have to sort of wing that a bit come Saturday and Sunday, though I get the full 34k distance in. But there we are, that's where we are. Compared to halfway through the week, last week, where I was having a lot of self-doubt, I'm a lot more positive again now. Feeling a lot more positive again. Whether it's enough is another matter. All the statistics, all the figures say yes, I can get it under the cut-off time, which is good. But I am still getting a few self-doubt niggles. Anyway, see you next week.